Before we get started, if you're only here for the pattern, please give the video a like and a thank you in the comments down below. It goes a long way for helping support this channel so I can give you more free goodies down the road. Also, I'd like to introduce today's sponsor, the Doll Apothecary, my online store for doll scaled fabric. Currently, we only have the Halloween collection, but expect more real soon. If you'd like to purchase fabric specifically made with dolls in mind, please visit the Doll Apothecary on Etsy or click the link in the description box below. Thank you, and now back to your tutorial. Hello everyone, my name is Alexandra, and welcome to Creative 404. Today is part 2 of my dressmaking tutorial. In the first part, we did a pattern making where we made the pattern to this lovely dress. I have taken that pattern and then put it in Illustrator and created this beautiful looking illustration of my pattern. It is very nice and it's absolutely free if you want to follow along. I am using a Blythe for this particular tutorial, but if you're using another doll, you can use the pattern from part 1 and then continue making and assembling the pattern in this particular tutorial. So this is more of an assembly tutorial, but I do give you the free Blythe pattern. So if you are a Blythe collector like me, you can have the pattern. It will be in the description box below. It's absolutely free, like I said. I made this completely from scratch. It is very form-fitting, and if you have a printer, please make sure that this indication for the 1 centimeter and 1 inch is correct, because this is a skin tight pattern. Well, semi-skin. It's slightly loose, but it's very tight. I am using a Blythe that actually has a bit of a bust. She's the busty one. This is the dress that we are making. We have 2 types of fabrics that I'm using. I'm actually using 3. She's going to have a little pair of pants, but I haven't finished making them yet. I'm using these fabrics from my Halloween collection for 2021. These are part of one set, and I wanted to use all 3. I'm going to make pants out of this orange, but I haven't quite gotten to it yet. I just wanted to get the dress pattern ready and show you how it looks. At the end, you'll see the full setup with the pants, as well as a beautiful little witch hat. This is what I call my witchy dress. She is really cute. I love it because it has a princess seam for the bust, and then it has a circle skirt flare on the bottom. Then I decided to add some cuteness to it by adding this beautiful little bow, and I made it so that it works really well and just fits really nicely. I mean, look, there's no wiggle room. Well, there's very little wiggle room. So I use these fabrics. These are, and I also use this one for the lining, but you can use any black fabric. These are from one set. This is from another. I am really excited to use these fabrics. I made this entire pattern just to showcase 3 different types of fabrics, which is why she's going to have to pants, because I think the orange pants, look at that, is so cute. And you have little lines down. It's going to be adorable. I gotta do it. I'm a little procrastinating right now, but let's get on to the tutorial. First off, you're going to cut out all your pattern pieces. So I cut my pattern out of the fabric and decided that I wanted the dress to be this beautiful Halloween fabric. Then I wanted the bow to be, or the what is it called, the belt to be a green fabric for a bit of a contrast. Then I also wanted to put some lining that is black, and that way it doesn't peek through. You could use the same pattern fabric as the dress for your lining, it doesn't matter, but I wanted a black pattern for some reason. Like I said, my bow is going to be green, which is going to be a nice contrast to all that pattern. So a nice solid green with a little bit of polka dots is not a bad deal. So I really wanted that to be as part of my dress. And then I picked out this pattern piece for the pants because I wanted the pants to kind of look like leggings. And because this isn't a knit fabric, I had to use my pleated pant pattern, which is in the description box below. There's also another tutorial for that pattern if you'd like to follow along for that. I am going to start by doing the princess seams on the front for each, the front piece and the lining. So here they are together. So now that I have them all together, I'm going to put right sides together and do the shoulders or the armholes as well as the collar. So, and I've also off camera did a pencil sketch of all of my pattern pieces within the lining so that I know which part is part of the fabric piece and then which part is my seam allowance. So here it is with the sewn armholes and sewn collar. I'm going to take some scissors and actually cut my seam allowance in half. This will become very handy when I have to turn these armholes inside or right sides out. So I've cut it in half. Now I'm going to turn these right sides out by pulling the top or the back piece through the shoulder seam and then out the front. Here it is, nicely ironed. I'm sorry if I'm going a bit too fast. These are pretty simple to do. It's pretty standard to sew this particular pattern piece. Now I'm doing the side seams, but please bear with me as I go along. So we're going to do the side seams. Here are the side seams. Off camera, I'm also going to do the hem on my skirt piece, and now I'm just going to add my flare skirt, which is my circle skirt, onto the fabric, and I seem to have lost it. It happens. I tend to cut these little pieces and then they disappear on me. Also off camera, I have add fray check to all my seams before I even started sewing them together. And as you can see, I have my things. For the circle skirt, you're actually going to have to clip that inner circle, so that it stretches across the bodice. As you can see, it doesn't really fit right now, but once you clip it, it fits perfectly. So here it is connected. I have also, as you can see, hemmed up the skirt. And clipping that inner circle really helps bring it across the entire bodice. So now I'm going to do the back seam, which the back seam is only halfway up the skirt. You don't want to go all the way up because then she can't get her little booty inside the dress. So you're going to go halfway up the skirt, and that is it. That is this dress. I mean, that's all you have to do. The bow is really easy. I'll show you in just a second, but the bow is just taking the pattern pieces and folding them in half. Here I am putting the dress right sides up, right sides out, and showing you how it looks. So for the bow and the belt, you're going to fold them in half like so. I've ironed it flat so that these pieces will kind of spring into the sort of shape that I want it to be, but you're going to fold them right sides together, and you're going to sew all the way around, leaving a small gap between the pieces so that you can turn them in right sides out. So remember to leave a small gap in the fabric so that you can turn them back out. Excuse me. I have also what I call wet sculpt the dress. So this is the dress really wet. By wet sculpting, you can get the nice creases in the skirt and get it just the way you like. I'm also going to wet sculpt the bowl, the ribbon, the bow. That's it, bow. You're going to wet sculpt the bow and the dress so that all the creases and so all the creases will go exactly where you want. So by giving the fabric a nice soaking wet and then letting it dry by air will definitely help give it the shape that you want. And here's the doll all dressed up. Like I said, the pant pattern is a different tutorial. You can find the link in the description box below, but here she is all pretty. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, a thank you, and thank you so much for watching. That is it for now. Bye bye.